These winter horror stories all took place during the cold months of the season, making them even more horrifying. The Christmas Eve ghost story, The Game of Finding. It was Christmas Eve, and I found myself alone in my dorm room in New York City. It's not that I didn't have friends, it's just that they were either still in the military, struggling with their theses, spending the holiday with their loved ones, or vacationing in some far-off place. So there I was, alone in my small Manhattan apartment. What to do? What could I do? I wandered the streets of the neighborhood, walking up and down the same blocks, but every store I passed was eerily empty. All the students, it seemed, had either gone to Central Park or left the city to escape the silence. Should I go out? Where could I even go? Maybe I wasn't the only one feeling lonely. With that thought, I bought some snacks and headed back to my place. The entire apartment complex seemed deserted, leaving me as its sole occupant. I sat back down at my computer, immersing myself in online articles. It was here, in the virtual world, that I felt most at home. Soon enough, the warmth returned to my heart. The forums were full of festive greetings, reminding me that in this vast world there were still people who cared for others. I decided to join in the celebration. Picking up my phone, I called everyone in my contact list to wish them a Merry Christmas. But after several attempts, each call was redirected to voicemail. One after another. Maybe everyone was just busy. Maybe they didn't hear their phones. With a sigh, I tossed my phone onto the bed. Why not call a stranger, like those online friends who cheerfully wished everyone well? With that idea, I picked up my phone again, dialed 09, and randomly pressed the keys with my eyes closed. Hello? A girl answered the phone, her voice slightly hoarse. I just wanted to say Merry Christmas, I stammered, suddenly unsure of myself. Who are you? She asked. You don't know me. I just wanted to wish you a Merry Christmas, I replied, feeling a bit awkward. My attempt at spreading cheer had turned into a nuisance. The call was abruptly ended, and I knew I had scared her. Such behavior wasn't much different from a stalker. I laughed at myself for being so naive and decided to stop this childish game. Just then my phone rang. Hello, I answered as the caller ID was hidden. Merry Christmas, the hoarse voice of the girl echoed again. I was stunned, unsure how to respond. Are you bored? She asked after a moment. Bored? Well, a bit, I admitted, though it felt like an understatement. I'm bored, too. Let's play a game, she quickly suggested. What game? The game of finding each other. Finding each other? How does that work? We ask each other questions. You can't directly ask where I am, but you can ask anything else. I'll try to make it hard for you to guess my location. All right, I'm in, I said, intrigued by the game. Who asks first? I asked, eager to start this mind game. I'll go first. What are you doing? She began with a question that seemed impossible to pinpoint my location. I thought for a moment. I'm getting dressed, I replied, putting on my coat to head out. Okay, your turn, she said. What about you? What are you doing? It was my turn, but I wasn't sure what to ask. I'm climbing stairs, she responded. Are you just coming home? I asked, curious. You can only ask one question at a time. It's my turn again. Are you going out? Yes, how did you know? I pondered the connection between getting dressed and going out. "Because it's obvious. Are you walking or taking a bike?" she asked again, catching me off guard. "I haven't decided yet. It depends. Are you home yet?" I cautiously replied, tossing the question back to her. "I'm not at home. What do you plan to do outside?" She continued the game seamlessly. "Buying stuff and trying to find you. What are you doing if you're not going home?" I asked in return. "I'm looking for you," she replied, mirroring my answer. I chuckled, turned off the lights, and left my room. I walked down the corridor, preparing to descend the stairs to buy snacks, all the while playing this intriguing game with her. "Do you live on the 3rd floor?" she suddenly asked, accurately guessing my location. "No, I live on the 4th floor," I lied, playing along with the game. "You're lying," she quickly responded, surprising me with her intuition. "I'm not," I said defensively, feeling a bit guilty as I continued my descent downstairs. "Really?" she questioned, skepticism in her voice. "It's your turn to ask a question." I quickly changed the subject. "Because your apartment only has 3 floors, she said, as I reached for the door handle. Her words sent a chill down my spine. Just then I heard a faint tapping sound outside, echoing her words from the phone and at my door. "The game's on you to ask now," she urged again, both through the phone and from outside my door. The footsteps stopped, right outside. She was there, outside my 3rd-floor apartment door. I hesitated, pulling my hand back from the doorknob. "Hurry up, it's your turn," she pressed, both on the phone and from outside. I realized it was actually her turn to ask, but she seemed not to notice. What mattered was, how did she know where I was? I took a deep breath. "I know where you are now. You're outside my apartment on the 3rd floor. I shouted, confident she could hear me both through the phone and outside. Did that mean I had won the game? Perhaps, but it hardly mattered anymore. "Ha! You're such a joker. How could I possibly be right outside your door?" She laughed through the phone, a laugh that seemed to mock my fears. I listened to her voice, slowly turning back to look at the door. The hallway was empty. "Quick, it's your turn to ask," she continued in her hoarse voice. "I don't want to play any more. Stop scaring me," I yelled, ready to run out. "No way, you lost. You have to accept the punishment. Let's play again." "My turn to ask. Is your room the only one with the lights on?" she asked, her tone playful yet unsettling. I froze, unsure how to respond. The game had taken a turn into something far more ominous than I had anticipated. What started as a lonely Christmas Eve had spiraled into a game of cat and mouse with a mysterious, possibly malevolent stranger. The rules of the game were unclear, and the stakes felt increasingly real and dangerous. I had to make a decision. Do I continue playing this twisted game, or do I try to escape this nightmare that had engulfed my once peaceful Christmas Eve? The choice was mine, and the next move would determine the outcome of this eerie Christmas tale.